on the SATs. Like, what? So it's always that interesting balance and challenge, you know. And so.
Yeah. That's interesting. So I'm sure you've been attacked on various fronts. Certainly, there are organizations within the state that don't like our kind very much.
Yeah.
But obviously, you've done very well despite that.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think this is my own theory, is that GLSEN, the Gay, Lesbian, Straight Education Network, which is a national organization, started right about the same time that we did, but they very quickly went from, you know, they started in Massachusetts, they went from a state thing to a national, you know, to creating chapters. And because they're national, a lot of the attention of the radical right focuses on GLSEN. And so, like Kevin Jennings, for example, when he's the original founder of GLSEN, he won the National Education Award for creative leadership and human rights, right? And people protested, and there was all this kind of stuff. And now he's the director of the Safe Schools program in the Obama administration. And they're like, you know, there's all this protest and all this kind of stuff. The following year, I got the same award, and it was like totally because it's a different, you know, like they're looking at them, and we're over here. Love Makes a Family did that for us. That when Love Makes a Family doing same-sex marriage stuff, that the family, that radical right group who hates us.
It's okay, you can say their name.
Family Institute of Connecticut.
We have challenged them to come on our show, and they
invited them to come on our show.
So they used to pick on Love Makes a Family. You know, I mean, that was their primary target. And then when Love Makes a Family realized that they had met their objective and they closed, they very quickly turned their attention to us, and they started trying to challenge our relationship with DCF.
Well, you moved into their offices. They just showed up one day and went, "Who are these people?"
Right. We moved into, well, and actually they used that we moved into their offices. They said, "See, now they're targeting children. We told you the children were going to be next." And I'm like, "We've been here for 17 years. Where the hell have you been?" So, but anyway, I think that, you know, the tide has really turned in so many different ways, and that there's going to be backlash for a while. You know, there'll be a lot of sputtering and a lot of people doing stuff, and then eventually they're just going to go away. Yeah. And I think they're going to go away in our lifetime.
You know? I think that's true. You know, I've seen so much progress.
Yeah.
You know, just in my lifetime.
Yeah. The last 10 or 15 years, it's been, you know, totally amazing, and there's still a lot of sputtering.
Sure.
You know, but the argument for sputtering is going away. You know, that you can't keep saying the same things. When people, the number one form of prejudice reduction is face-to-face interactions over a period of time. So many of us are out now. So many people know us and know who we are that they can't keep saying the same crap, because then everybody they say it to says, "Well, really, you know, I know so-and-so and they're not like that." You know, and so I think that the tide has changed.
That's an amazing thing, and that's something that we've found as an organization. We've done a lot of that kind of thing, and that's been sort of the most amazing thing, is that we found that if we can just get to know people a little bit, they quickly realize that
we're not scary.
We're just human beings like everybody else, and it really does change people's minds. It's amazing.
It really is. One of the most political things that we can do is to live our lives openly.
Right.
And that really changes the world, you know. And the more of us that can do it, the more of us can do it.
You know, what's helped with our group too is that we've been going into the local high schools and colleges and
that's right.
getting across.
Doing meet and greets.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah, in fact,
we have one coming up. Yes, April 24th. Or maybe we're talking about two different things. April 24th.
Yes, we're talking about two different things.
We're going to do the Living Library thing.
Right, with the Hands Against Hate group.
Oh, that's great.
And P Flag up at the Williams School at
Barbara Alton. I
actually, College.
Yeah, that's great.
She actually emailed me this morning. She's going to be coming on the show.
Okay, cool.
That's great.
But that's going to be an interesting thing. We had never been part of it. We're going to.
Well, and it was your friend, right, who was talking to you, who said that those that have come before us have made the targets on our backs just that much smaller.
Right.
You know, and our goal is to just shrink it that much more for the people that follow us.
Right.
I thought that was very sort of prophetic. She said that she was very grateful to those that have gone before us because they've made the targets on our backs that much smaller.
What a great line. I got a call today from a group that it's a national organization that does work with folks who work with high school students, seniors going into college, and then people on the college campuses who help young people sort of adapt to it. So it's admissions and then counseling. And they specifically want to do a workshop at their next national gathering about creating affirming spaces for trans youth on campuses. So I was going to reach out to y'all and to bring additional folks with me. I don't want to do that by myself.
Sure.
And
Love to.
it's in May.
Okay.
And it's going to be in Rhode Island.
We'll be there.
So, yeah, that'd be great.
Now, we've had a few people call in the past as well who aren't quite yet so comfortable living out and proudly, who are looking for ways to get in touch with supportive, frequently supportive night spots.
Okay.
But as well supportive groups. We're constantly recommending that they get in touch with, you know, PFLAG and GLSEN and all these other, you know, their local GSAs. And so if folks wanted to get in touch with True Colors to either mentor, be them a member of the alphabet themselves or just a supportive ally, or if they're looking to get into the mentoring program or more information, how would they get a hold of you?
There's, they obviously can call us. The number is 860-232-0050. Or they can reach us on the web at truecolors.org. And, you know, either way would be an easy way to reach us. And then we can give them, there's lots of information on our website about mentoring and about each of the different programs and the Gay Straight Alliance programs and so on.
The safe harbors.
Safe harbors, yeah, with the DCF.
We have your website up on.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
And certainly, if anybody manages to miss that, they can always contact us and we can redirect them, certainly.
We are a brand new, newly designed website.
Yes, what's with the, what was the thinking behind the new logo? Don't know? Okay. I like it, but I figured it was done for a reason.
It was actually because we moved from a very small office to a new office. We were in the middle of a strategic planning process, and there were all these things that were happening that it just seemed like the right time to look at the logo, to look at the website, to sort of rebrand and relaunch.
Yeah. It's very nice.
And one of our board members actually created the logo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, so I like it. I love the heart people, so.
We don't actually have that to put up, but
we don't have that on the capture.
We don't have that on the capture cam, unfortunately. But
that's right.
We might put it up in the future.
The heart people.
We can certainly do that. We can put that up on the capture cam at sometime in the future, and you can certainly come back.
I'd love to. This was really fun. Yeah, this was really fun.
This is a great conversation. I don't think no one tried to call.
It's interesting, but you know, typically it seems. When we have a really interesting show, nobody calls. They don't want to leave the TV, and so if we get more calls, I think that's actually a good thing. Of course, somebody's going to call now.
Well, and we have to let Father know about the Inclusive Spiritual Institute.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
We're still. The Spiritual Institute, the keynote is going to be Reverend Irene Monroe, who is an African-American lesbian minister who writes for In News Weekly, for Curve Magazine, and a variety of other programs. And she writes about the intersections of race, gender, and sexuality. Wow. And so she's going to be the keynote. And then we have some really great speakers there. That there's a group called Fortunate Families, which supports parents Catholic parents of children who are gay, lesbian, bi, or trans, and that's a national group, and they're coming. And there's all these different organizations that I just didn't even know existed that have stepped forward. And then the co-sponsors are almost every kind of open and affirming tradition in the state. So we have